Hey guys, I'm Sean,
And I'm Jim.
and today we're playing around a little bit with the headlines.
Hmm.
Playing around a little bit with the headlines in Streamyard here, and
Yeah, Sean tagged himself as Boss Hog. And for me, that goes back to the old TV show, but I don't know if that's what
yeah,
he was referring to. So I couldn't resist putting up the Pitmaster. Of course, he's going to argue with me on who's a better Pitmaster.
well, it's me, obviously.
Oh shit!
But the
You've never been out to have my barbecue. I've had yours, and it's damn good. Don't get me wrong, folks. He knows how to smoke a pork butt.
and a brisket, and and pork belly, and wings.
Yeah, you gotta try mine sometime. You gotta come out here.
But anyways, the the video that we're doing today is Dax: The Devil's Calling. We figured we'd check it out. We've been checking out a lot of Dax stuff recently, so we figured we'd jump in and grab this one as well.
Yeah, he just
And
dropped this like 4 days ago, I think.
yeah, a few days ago, and I don't listen to him on the side, so anything we watch of his will be fresh for me, just like it is for Jim. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. So let's check it out, and let's get right into it.
Idle mind is a devil's playground.
Isaiah 54, verse 17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper.
Hold it, Sean. Stop for a second. See if you can get the opacity up to 100% on that. You've got the lyrics, which is nice, but let's get that opacity all the way up.
It's all the way up already.
Oh boy. Okay. Okay. I'm good.
That made it a little bit better,
Straight from the depths of hell. The devil's calling, he might win a couple battles, but I promise he will not prevail. These words are what I used to post bail. My people trapped inside these chains, they got us thinking in these jail cells. So keep it quiet when I'm spitting real. The way we living isn't right, and yeah, I bet that's how Tupac would feel. This generation's different, had to go and cop a shield and keep myself.
No, just catching that Tupac reference.
Yeah, let's go back to that.
What I used to post bail. My people trapped inside these chains, they got us thinking in these jail cells. So keep it quiet when I'm spitting.
So I thought that was really interesting that he was said jail cells, because I'm not sure if he means mental jails. I think he means actually mental jails in this case. He may mean literal jails too, though.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm thinking actual jails.
Because he could mean that he could be talking about the disproportionate.
The chains are mental chains.
The mental chains, but he could be talking about the disproportionate imprisonment ratios in America in races. I'm reaching a little bit here, but he specifically mentions my people trapped inside these chains. They got us thinking in these jail cells. So that indicates.
To me, that's mental and physical right there.
Yeah. I could see that he's talking about potentially the disparity in incarceration rates, so but also in getting there. So let's see where he goes from here.
People trapped inside these chains, they got us thinking in these jail cells. So keep it quiet when I'm spitting real. The way we living isn't right, and yeah, I bet that's how Tupac would feel. This generation.
Yeah. So
I can only recognize it best. I mean, that's all I can do. I mean,
so
I can only acknowledge.
I don't know. I guess I don't know what he means about that. Because I just can't figure out what he means.
Sean, you're frozen.
that's how I bet Tupac would feel. That with the way we're living isn't right, and yeah, I bet that's how Tupac would feel. I mean, which ways? Who specifically is not living the way that Tupac would like? And also, I mean,
Okay,
let me preface this, right. Like, Tupac is one of the greatest rappers of all time. I'm not doubting that one bit here, but I don't know why we're looking to Tupac's judgment on how people are living as something that's like supremely important. Like, he was important. He was an important figure beyond the music, and by all accounts, a very positive force in the community and things like that. But I just don't really get why we're using him as like a role model here.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. I'm going to speak from ignorance. We ain't living right. Okay, that's self-explanatory. That's what I have to acknowledge. The Tupac reference, that's where I was going to rely on you to tell me, okay, I mean, I know of Tupac, but obviously I don't know him the way you do.
Yeah, I guess I'm just, when I think of like people judging my behavior, Tupac is just not on the list of people. I mean, I'm not saying that like in like a disparaging way. I'm not saying that in a but it's just like, why Tupac? Like, why? Let's move on. I'm not disparaging Tupac. He's in my top 5. He's in everyone's top 5.
I think this just raised a question for us to have a discussion on later on.
Yeah, I guess I just don't get why Tupac is the subject here, as if he's like someone's like, I don't know. I don't get why he would be the moral compass. I guess that's what it is. I don't get, why is Tupac the moral compass here?
Well, would you rather have Snoop Dogg as a moral compass?
I mean, no, but like, I wouldn't use really any rapper as a moral compass. That's kind of the point that I'm making.
Okay.
I mean, there are a couple that, like, I guess wouldn't be the worst moral compasses, but like, I can't think of a rapper that would be the best moral compass. You know what I mean? Whatever. We'll move on. Move on. By the way, I'm not talking shit about Tupac before the internet tries to kill me over this. I'm not talking shit about Tupac. I just don't think that he was a good moral compass. I don't think any rapper is. We'll move on now.
I bet that's how Tupac would feel. This generation's different. Had to go and cop a shield and keep myself away from matters glorifying popping pills. This is the energy of Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King Jr., Harry.
Okay, see, there we go. Now, whoa.
Yeah.
Wait a second now. So,
look how you led into that.
I have a problem with this. I actually have a problem with this.
Oh, shit.
I actually have a problem with this. So, you ever play that game, One of These Things Does Not Belong?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Emmett Till.
That's the name I don't know.
You don't know about Emmett Till?
It does not ring bells. I am sorry. Okay. I'm ignorant.
Emmett Till was the child that got beaten to death by a mob because a white woman said that he was looking at her or leering at her or whatever. And she only died a few years ago.
Oh, shit.
But this was back in like the 60s or something. I mean, here, let me get you more details because this is important. I'll get you more information here. Yeah. So he was 14 years old. He was abducted, tortured, and lynched in Mississippi in 1955. In front of his mother, because he was accused of offending a white woman who's Carolyn Bryant. And Carolyn Bryant admitted that she lied. But she only admitted that she lied last year, I want to say in 2022 or 2021, and the grand jury declined to indict her because she's 89 years old now.
Jesus.
So she essentially had that boy killed for looking at her when he didn't even look at her. She was just, so that's obviously like one of the most disgusting things ever. But here's the thing, okay? This is the energy of Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman.
Right. All of that.
Luther King Jr., Harry Tubman.
And Emmett Till. Emmett Till doesn't belong here, okay? Like, what happened to Emmett Till was terrible, and it did incite a lot of it was like one of the driving forces in the civil rights movement. But like Emmett Till himself was because he was 14 years old. Like, he was not this freedom fighter. He was a kid that was murdered in cold blood. He was not in the same category as Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks and Harriet Tubman. Like, those were freedom fighters and equality fighters. And Emmett Till was a child that was murdered.
Okay,
in front of his mother.
I'm going to take a reach here. I'm going to stretch.
Yeah.
And I'm coming at it from a viewpoint of someone who lived through the 60s as a teenager.
And keep in mind, he said the energy of.
Right.
And then list the names.
Right. And here's my take on that.
Okay.
With what you just told me, I can see Emmett Till as what the others were fighting against. What happened to Emmett being what the others were fighting against.
Yes, but he said the energy of, and then listed those names.
Yeah, okay.
And that, don't get me wrong, Emmett Till's story is an important one, a very important one.
And one I need to look up.
And one you definitely need to know about. That isn't the point that I'm making. The point that I'm making is that name does not belong with the rest of those names, in my opinion, because he listed off a bunch of, heavyweights in the freedom business. And that was not Emmett Till. Emmett Till was an innocent kid that was victimized by the system that the others were trying to undo. But that doesn't make him an undoer of said system.
Although, once again, a reach, I would, oh God, I hate to go here with this. I know we'll talk offline further. At this point, I would, if he had said George Floyd, or
that wouldn't have worked either, because that's another
victim. But Emmett and Floyd and Tyree, they're all the same today.
Yeah,
well,
that's a different. Yeah, but that's a
George and Tyree are today. Emmett was what, almost 70 years ago. Same thing.
Same story. Same thing. Yes, those things belong together, but you would not put George Floyd in the conversation with Martin Luther King, because that would be ridiculous. Because they are two different two different areas of said fight.
Okay. Well, let's go and move this along.
I will, but I'm just going to end with this thought. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Rosa Parks, like those are the flames in the in that movement. But people like Emmett Till are fuel to those flames, but they are not themselves the flame.
That was where I was going. That You just said a great analogy. The fuel to the flame.
Yeah, they're fuel to but they're not the flame themselves, and so he doesn't belong in this.
Okay.
That's all. I'm not saying that he's not important. I'm not saying what happened to him wasn't a tragedy. I'm not saying what happened to him wasn't important historically. It was super important. But he's not part of that category. He's something else. His story is something else.
We'll definitely talk later.
Yes.
Let me tell, look to God, then I kneel. Yeah, the devil's calling, he's been looking for the weak, but I promise we won't sign and seal. Yeah, this is not a game. The devil's calling all my people, stay inside and please be quiet when you scream your name. He tried to lead me down the wrong way. I used to question God, but after what I've seen, I'll never do that shit again. These verses biblical, I rap and pray that every day the people watching, listening, and heed to the things I say. I've been through and felt pain, been down, felt rage, bounced back, seen God, bowed down, got saved. Not from the streets, I'm on the sidewalk advocating peace. I want to see all of my people winning.
Love that line. Not from the streets, I'm on the sidewalk advocating peace. I like that. Because from the streets is obviously like it means that that you are from a certain kind of life, and he's basically not claiming that part of life, that kind of life. He's saying no, I'm adjacent to that by being on the sidewalk, but I'm not really from that. I'm something else.
And here I'm going to get the people hating on me. Most likely I'll get people hating on me. I can't help but think that the entire spiritual experience in America for blacks who are brought over from Africa or slaves is something that was artificial and forced on them, because their religious, from what I know, their religious experience or traditions was entirely different until they learned about the white man's Jesus.
So,
and his teaching, are you a slave? Be content. You will be rewarded in heaven.
So while you and I have very similar opinions on religion in general,
and I'm not trying to be an asshole, but you know where I'm going with that.
I do want to point out to you that there's evidence of Christians in Africa predating slavery in America. And I'm going to leave that there.
Okay.
And we can discuss that further later. But I want to say on air and tell you on the live here that there is evidence of African Christians that predate American slavery.
Okay, and what I'm saying is that I find his biblical or Christian references, his religious expressions here, although I think he's sincere, in my mind, the root is artificial. You know what I mean?
That could very well be the case. Yeah, I mean, and I get that. I just kind of wanted to point that out to you because it came off as if you were doubting the validity of
no, I'm not that doubting
of African or of people of African descent being Christians. And don't get me wrong, a lot of it was installed here for a lot of tribes that didn't believe that way, or a lot of groups that didn't believe that way that ended up here.
And it was instilled as a means of control.
Yes, but it certainly wasn't all of them. And there were instances of African Christians that predate American slavery that I've read about.
How is meant as a means of control, even for white kids like I was back in the 50s.
Yeah, well, let's not get all the people to be furious with us because if this devolves into a religious conversation,
you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Set free. I'm here to tell you
we'll offend some people.
advocating peace. I want to see all of my people winning set free. I'm here to tell you that you better know that God sees, and if you do not listen, he will humble you right to your knees. Fuck fame, fuck greed, all the material things, the devil's in sheep's clothing. He gives what you don't need. Keep your eyes open, don't sleep, and if you do, be aware he will visit you inside your dreams. And once you wake up, he will not leave. His speed's 5G, everywhere is scrolling on your phone screen. Tapped in, force feed, front row, nosebleeds, old friends, home team, come home, don't leave. So listen close, cause I'ma say it slow. The devil's watching every move you make in every single place you go. I used to think that I was all alone until I felt him breathing down my neck while I was sleeping right inside my home. I tried to wake up, but the devil had me in the hold. I tried to move, he paralyzed my skeleton and all my bones. And that's when I got God, and then I shouted out amen. And I could put that on the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, and the Ghost. That I will not fold, that I will never crack, never sell my soul. 6'2", standing on my faith, I feel ninefold. Walking on this path, I could do it with a blindfold. Devil tried to blame me for my faith like a console. Hell no, stay down, 10 toes, hands up, case closed. They know to stand strong as the rain posts, to wait till the gates close and pray as the pain goes.
Okay, I'm liking this.
I just want to point out that I think that the physical representation of the devil is really interesting. I've never seen him depicted that way.
I haven't either.
And I mean, the music has been good. So the music has been good throughout. It's been exactly what I expect from Dax.
Oh yeah, the music's been great, but I mean the lyrics. I'm really loving the lyrics. The only thing I'm doing internally is that I substituted my inner strength for what he's saying is coming from God. Right.
So the thing that's happening to me, guys, is, well, you guys know I'm very into special effects makeup, being involved with the haunted house and all that stuff. So when I see a monster being made on screen, I can't help but kind of get sucked into that. And I apologize, guys. I'm giving the music the attention it deserves, I promise, in my head, but I can't help but comment on the monster on the screen.
Yeah, whereas for me, the lyrics have been sucking me in on this, with that stipulation that I'm substituting the source of the strength.
Sure. Let's back up a little bit.
The rain posts to wait till the gates close and pray as the pain goes. Everything you see is not what it seems. Even the nicest people that you meet have devilish genes. In this world full of evil, we are sinners and fiends. The devil's calling on us, but we gotta let that phone ring straight from the depths of hell. The devil's calling, he might win a couple battles, but I promise he will not prevail. These words are what I used to post bail. My people trapped inside these chains, they got us thinking in these jail cells. This is the energy of Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King.
Nice callback.
Look to God, then I kneel. Yeah, the devil's calling, he's been looking for the weak, but I promise we won't sign and seal. Amen. Stand up. Fight this walk with me. It's Dax.
I like this.
Yeah, that was really good.
And I mean, this to me is back. Okay, the last couple of songs we did with Dax were just that, songs. But this, to me, this is rap. Great production value all the way around. Great music. Lyrics. At the end, there's just a straightforward message. Doesn't take a lot of thought on those. Overall, I'm highly impressed.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right.
And more than ever now, I think we need to go back and see why he's hated on by a few people.
I mean, I know some of the things. I won't go into them here. But yeah, no, this was a good song. It was technically very skillful. The subject matter, not really my cup of tea, to be honest, but I can recognize that it was a well-constructed song. I can recognize that it was lyrically well put together, that it was well produced, that sonically it was very good, and all of that. I thought there were some interesting choices that we discussed them in depth, probably far longer than we should have.
Yeah, because we're well over our normal limit.
Yeah, so
well, we're over it anyway.
Yeah, I'll end with saying that was a very good song, exactly what I expect from Dax, and I'm excited for the next piece.
Yeah, I almost think we have to take a look at "Dear God" now, see what he says there.
Yeah, we can do that. But yeah, no, this was exactly what I've started to come to expect from him, and it was good. I'll definitely give it a second listen to see anything I missed and all of that on the side, of course. But yeah, it's very good. Very good.
All right.
All right.
On that thought, out of here.
Later, guys.